guys. So I know you've noticed my totally fab wig. I swear it's not as high as it looks. It's just big here. But yeah, so this is the wig that I wore for Estrella Milliette when I went to Armistice Arcane, and that is what we're gonna talk about today. How was Armistice Arcane? Getting to Armistice was it was a trip. So there was a really bad snowstorm in the northeast, like on Wednesday night into the Thursday before leaving, and a lot of people from the northeast area were leaving on Thursday because it was more convenient. There was a lot more flights available. Me and Will elected to go out Friday prior to even knowing that the storm was gonna hit. That led to a lot of flights being canceled and a lot of people flying out on Friday rather than Thursday. That happened with Scott of Wandering Wolf. You know, unfortunately his flight had to get moved. Unfortunately as well, because of the absolute terror that was the airports and so many closures happening, Cheyenne of LARP House wasn't actually able to make it because her flight was like going from Germany, was going to New York, and they told them to turn around, and so they did, and like it was really bad, okay? Like really bad. So we were praying that on Friday none of our flights would get canceled. We kept checking, and everything was okay. Our flights were still to go. So the footage that I'm about to show you guys is us like getting there. I could only take so much footage. I didn't take any going back because getting back home was a nightmare, but have fun watching this footage because it's a little bit of an adventure. So it's about like 5 a.m. We're getting ready to head out to Armistice Arcane today. We are flying out to New Orleans. Our flight did not get canceled. Thank God. I am so glad I chose to leave on Friday and not Thursday. So me and Will are getting ready. We're heading out. And yeah, we're both really excited. So I guess we'll do another check-in when we get to the airport. We made it to JFK, just easy peasy. We have like 2 hours to kill before our flight. It's hella early, so I kind of want to die. But we're getting breakfast at Swanky Place, and we're getting hot chocolate. I'm getting a breakfast burger, and Will.
I'm getting an omelette and having a water because I'm on my best behavior and trying not to get fat.
I, on the other hand, get hot cocoa with whipped cream.
I hate you.
So, yeah, we're heading out, and I'm really excited. I guess we'll check in once we're on the plane. Oh my gosh. So, we finally made it to New Orleans.
Hey. We're
here. Yeah, we're here. We had so many delays at the airport. I basically slept for the last 4 hours. I was so tired. But I feel like a lot better now, actually, now that I slept. But, oh my god. So, like, first they changed our gate. So, and then from changing our gate, they changed the departure time, and they changed the departure time again, and then again, and we're like, okay, then I guess, like, we're kind of fucked. But it was just, like, a whole mess trying to get here. I mean, but we're here now. We have to figure out a ride, but I'm sure we'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, we'll figure out a ride. I'll bribe someone or kill someone else.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon. We're almost there. Okay, so now that you've had a second and watched all that footage, it was a mess getting there. Our flight was so delayed, and by the time we got there, the workshop was already starting. So we should have got there 3 hours prior to the workshop starting. We got there the workshop was already going on. So we ran into the hotel, they made us put our bags in a room, and we like ran to the workshop. And the workshop itself was great. So Kathy, one of the head writers for Peculiar Crossroads, she led the workshop and basically told everybody the consent rules and, you know, basically some atmospheric rules and how to play the game and how to ask, you know, for consent via roleplay. You know, that you can't just go up to somebody and give them a hug. You know, you should ask like, oh, is it okay for me to give you a hug? And we learned the okay signals. So like, for instance, when you go, if you go up to a player and you go like, and they go, everything's chill, that means they're good. If you go, and they go, you have to treat that as if they were like not okay, because that means they're not really sure. And then if, you know, you check in on them and they go not okay, that means something's wrong. What was really great as well is that they had an on-staff trained, like licensed psychologist that you could talk to on your off time if you were having issues or, you know, having problems with lead. I immediately was so hyped to get into costume and finally meet my Cirque fam. And I have to tell you guys, the Cirque, we were awesome. We were such a tight-knit group. I loved hanging out with everybody. I was kind of nervous because, of course, you're always nervous. You're always nervous when you get to meet everybody for the first time. So everybody was super chill. You know, I had so much fun because we did some exercises during the workshop too to kind of like get used to each other and like have all of us have like homogenous memories and like what's one memory we would have shared together. So that was really, really, really cool. So after the workshop was done and we all got to meet in our little groups, we got ready. So I basically went to my room, took, you know, forever to get ready as usual, and then I headed down to dinner. And dinner was in this beautiful grand ballroom, and basically we sat, like the Cirque sat together because we were all kind of like, do we sit anywhere else? We're just gonna sit together. And I mean, like, it was fun, it worked out. And then LARP girl Kaza Marie came in as her character, and she sat with us, and everybody was like really tight because she was a sentinel, and everyone was like, oh my god, a sentinel sitting with us, why? And it was great. Mostly I found that I really liked chatting within the group. You know, Estrella's motivations didn't really lead her to care about anyone outside of her own group. So that was like the only thing that I felt difficult to interact with, was because Estrella's conflict was very much like group oriented. It was a central conflict between the Cirque rather than external. So she basically had no tie to any of this external stuff except for her boyfriend, I guess, you know, who was the Count, who was basically the head and the face of the Cirque and making all the rules and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, if anything, I kind of enjoyed that. I like smaller scenes sometimes. I don't like always, like, big attention-grabbing scenes or having to interact with plot. I'm very much okay with not interacting with plot and always being, like, a side character for people, because I honestly think that's where you get a lot of meaningful roleplay scenes. So, you know, I was Estrella, not really giving a damn about anything, or anyone for that matter. And it was great. I was very angsty. But honestly, I had probably just the most fun just deadpan looking at people. Like, just no emotion on my face. Like, they would tell me a joke and I'm just like... like, great stuff. And one of the most amazing members of the Cirque, his in-game name was Hopper. He gave me this little music box. It's currently downstairs with all my stuff, but it was just a little music box that played Fleur de Lis, and like I would just go around silently with nothing on my face, just like cranking this music box, and it was really creepy. After dinner, I had set up a time to go to the escape room, and so it was me, Angel, Morgan, and Kaza. So it was like 4 of us and then a couple of other really great people that went in, and we basically had to solve the escape room, and we would get a clue, and the clue could be shared amongst all of us. So the escape room, like the puzzles went from like super easy to like kind of hard to like super impossible hard. Like it got really hard towards the end, and we were struggling. But eventually we unlocked the box and we got everything, and it was awesome. And so the clue that we had was basically, it was a drawing that was done of all the horrors that had basically terrorized our group. So each group, each faction had like a different horrible thing happen to them, and we got a drawing basically with all of them, so we had to figure out who belonged to who, and we had enough different groups in with us because, you know, everybody was trying to mean like, okay, what does this mean? This is clearly like all of our horrors, and there were things to decipher and stuff. Again, I didn't get too involved in the actual plot. I was more having like small scenes and internal conflict with the Cirque. So there was the awesome character, his name is Ricky. He played Rex, and Rex was a lot of fun to kind of just like stand around and have small talk with, because Rex was like a total flirt, and Estrella's like, she loves flirting with him too, but she's also like, you better chill out or the Count's gonna gut you. It was great. So then the next day, we actually went to bed after that, because we went in probably around like 10 or 11 o'clock for the escape room, and then we got out around like 12:31, and it was pretty late, so I ended up just heading to bed because I have to take off all of this, and this is a lot. And then breakfast was kind of early the next morning. It was a little bit painfully early. It was like something like 9 o'clock or 8 something. So the Cirque had made a pact that earlier that night that we would come down in our pajamas, but it turns out that there wasn't any game on till like 10:30. So if you came down at 9 o'clock, you're eating off game. So I just dressed in my robe that I wore for Fairweather Manor, like that really long robe, and I came down and I had breakfast with people, and it was a lot of fun. And then I went back upstairs, got ready, and then came back downstairs, and there were like dance lessons going on. There was all sorts of like little workshops to do, and that was a lot of fun. At this point, Estrella had been talking with the Count a lot about basically that she didn't like being the way she was. She didn't like not feeling anymore, and she clearly knew that she was relying too much on her magic to cut off her emotions. She was relying too much on that to kind of help her cope with feelings that she didn't want to feel, and it wasn't healthy. So, you know, the Count was like, okay, we're gonna find a way to fix this. So we got in touch with a couple of people in, I think, the Eclipse, and we were able to find something that could do a ritual to help me get my feelings back, essentially. So Beacon Hill, shout out to all the Beacon Hill players that were there for the ritual. You guys were dope. So we do a ritual around like 1 o'clock, and we sit in a circle, and basically one of the Beacon Hill players, power to her, she sings a song that is supposed to help me feel my emotions again. And I'm holding like this crystal heart, and I gotta, like, I think it's really awesome when people sing at LARPs. I mean, it takes a lot to do that, so I have so much respect, and she was clearly, like, kind of nervous about it, but she did a great job. Being Estrella in that moment and really trying to channel and feel those emotions, when I get really into character, I don't think as Raquel anymore. I really do think as Estrella. And I just closed my eyes and like I bent down, like I held the crystal to my face like that, and I came up and I was just bawling. My makeup stayed perfect because I had the whole white face. It stayed perfectly fine, but I was hysterically bawling. I was crying, and I was just, Estrella felt her heart of ice just melt. And she could feel everything that she bottled up, this pain, this terror, the sadness, it all rushed back to her. And it was incredible. It was such an awesome moment. I really do have to give it to everybody who took part in that ritual, because like I got really into it. You know, my Cirque family was there. I made people cry. Apparently people were like crying all over the place. I was crying. It was crazy. But it was really awesome. And honestly, once Estrella got her feelings back, I kind of felt like her arc had been like, I had completed my main goal for Estrella. Like, her arc was completed. And now everything else I was doing was after the happily ever after, because after she basically completed that task, she was who she once was again. And it was really awesome to kind of like see everybody come together for this ritual and like help my character out and basically close my character's chapter. That was really awesome. And I really appreciate everybody that, you know, took the time and did that cool scene with me. After that, basically, once Estrella could feel again, she talked with the Cirque. There was a lot of lawmaking and things happening to basically make sure that all the factions could function together as a group. And I wasn't really like, that wasn't really part of what I was doing. You know, Estrella didn't really, it's not that she didn't care about it, it's just that she wanted to be with her friends more. And basically, once she got her emotions turned back on, she was a lot more determined to kind of like figure out what was going on. So after that scene, after the ritual scene, I actually took about an hour or two just to kind of go off game and cool down, because it was really an emotional scene. And there's no problems if you guys ever need to take a break during a LARP and like cool down or like come back to your center. Like, that's totally chill. You know, there was a lot of emotion, so I just went off game and I got ready for the ball. And when I was done, it was probably around, the ritual probably finished around like 2:30, so I came back down at like 4:30, and everybody was, basically no one was anywhere to be seen because everybody was getting ready for the ball. Like, everybody had taken like an hour to 2 hours to get ready for the ball. And I come down in my big Cinderella dress, which there's no pictures of. I thought I was gonna have pictures of it, and I'm so sorry. I will find pictures, I'll post them eventually. I'll do a photo shoot in my gown, but like, it looked incredible. I was so happy with it. I think once you guys see it, you'll be happy with it too. So sorry there's no footage of it, but there was no pictures. There was a lot of stuff that started happening, that's why. So we got this really long table at dinner to like fit all the Cirque, and we were having such a great time and making jokes, and there was this whole thing where we were tricking Rex with like love letters and telling him that like all these girls were sending him love letters when it really like wasn't. It was just us in the Cirque sending him love letters, and they were really funny. Of course he was heartbroken to find out that none of it was real. My dress also was so poofy that I couldn't dance on the dance floor because the Count was dancing with me, and he just fell and took it like a champ, but I felt so bad. I felt so bad. And like, I almost made the other two people that were with me, dancing with me, trip and fall. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna dance on the dance floor. That's fine. And then everything started to get like really serious at dinner when, there was a ritual that needed to be done. Jenny had a curse on her in which whenever, you know, she spoke to somebody or like had a connection with somebody, if they didn't talk to her within 3 days, that something terrible would happen to them. Like, they could die or get really sick, like something would happen to them if they didn't like keep in contact with Jenny. So there had to be a ritual that had to be done. I was like, are you sure we need to do the ritual? I don't know if that's a good idea. Everyone's like, nah, we need a ritual. And I'm like, you sure? Everyone was like, yes, ritual. And I was like, okay. So then they do the ritual, and Estrella sits off onto the sideline. She doesn't take part in the ritual. She doesn't like stand there and hold hands. Oh no. So it was Buckles, a character named Buckles, and then Angel, and then Morgan were all in the center of this circle. No, so basically it was like the Cirque and Momo's character. And they try and do this ritual, and it goes terribly, terribly wrong. And they summon this fairy god chick, and she's terrible, and everyone's like, oh no. And she basically is going around trying to recruit women to kill men. And it was just really bad. So we go back downstairs and she's like freaking making havoc on the main ballroom. And basically everyone's like freaking out, not knowing what to do or how to deal with her. The Count gets a little bit too close and threatens to stop her, and then like she almost kills the Count, and people are trying to shoot her and nothing's working. So Estrella takes off her necklace. And while one of the disciples of the evil god lady are following her, I follow them into the stairwell. I ask, why are you doing this? And she, of course, tries to tell Estrella that she can give her unlimited power or just kill somebody. Just kill a man. Kill any man. And Estrella's like, no, no one's worth me killing. Estrella had a few ideas in mind, but she really wasn't going to kill anybody. She was just trying to get the information that she could out of this woman, and she was successful at it. So she had found out that basically every time the armistice came together and everybody tried to make, like, rules about how we can function as a magical society, her and other people like her would appear and mess everything up. And I figured out that she would only recruit women and wanted to kill all men, and it was very interesting. So I basically run back to everybody, report back to everything I have, and they're trying to stop her. So we figure out that we need to kill her follower to kind of get rid of her. Like, her follower is the only way that we can continue. Her follower is the only way that we can stop her presence, I guess. So we kill her follower, eventually. It takes some time. And she eventually disappears, but then we're all gathered in, like, the main room. There's supposed to be, like, a meeting. And we're all sitting there, and we're all talking about, like, what's gonna happen next. Estrella is just exhausted about everything that's going on, and she's on the couch next to Rex, and they're talking. And all of a sudden, this chick, the Lady of the Mirror, who had come out earlier in the game, but I didn't get a chance to interact with her, comes into the room straight towards me, and like everyone's looking, and I'm like, oh no, 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 and I like get up from the couch and I'm like, no, 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 and I was freaking out. And she comes out and she's basically asking to be saved. Like, she needs to be saved because this woman's going to take her. Basically have to go back into the mirror and stay there forever. And somebody had promised her freedom. And that was my friend April's character. But April's character got murdered for other reasons, because she was a vampire. So she got nixed. So the person who offered her freedom was no longer to be found. So she was looking for somebody to give her in exchange for freedom. She had to be free. She wanted to be free. And she's basically screaming and crying. Everyone's looking around. I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And everyone's like, Estrella, are you okay? And I'm like, because I'm on the other side from everybody else, and like I'm caught in between everybody and this mirror lady, and I'm like. And so basically, a really great gentleman, I believe he was from the society, the Esoteric Society, offers himself up to be taken in her place, and like that basically means he's dead, he's donezo. So he trades places with this with the lady in the mirror, and he throws a box back to one of his fellow society mates. And like I noticed that the guy opened it and there was a wedding ring inside, and like there had been somebody that he wanted to propose to this woman. And I just sat there and I was like, oh no, oh no, no, no. So he gets taken away. And that's basically it. And then we go into the area where they finally make the announcements of all the laws that come through. So the Count, my man, basically helps read off everything and all the agreements that all the groups had come to throughout the armistice. And it was kind of awesome to kind of see, like, yes, like, we're all going to work together, we're going to be a team, and this is what's going to happen up for next year. For the next Armistice Arcane, it's going to be, I'm assuming it's going to be probably a sequel to the first one, and more things are going to happen. We're going to find out more things about the stuff that attacked us, and I'm pretty excited about it. Armistice for me was like a really cool mix between like traditional American style LARPing and Nordic LARPing, like European Nordic LARPing, like when I went to Fairweather Manor and College of Wizardry. because I find that those types are very roleplay based. They're very character based, and it was really cool to really be able to delve into the Cirque, and we really stuck together as a group, and I really, really liked that. You know, my character didn't personally get involved in plot too much. She had her own personal plot and then got involved in other people's personal plot. And honestly, that was enough for me. Like, I love that, but I also kind of liked being on the sidelines while main plot things were happening. Because I like finding out and helping people with their stories, not just my own. Because I think that's kind of what makes the world go round in LARP, is not just thinking about yourself and, stories that you can do and stories that you can bring to everybody, you know? And I think that was what was really awesome about Armistice, is that it let you explore different avenues of the game. You didn't have to focus on main plot if you didn't want to. There were plenty of intersectional plots and small plots and group plots to take care of. You know, like there was a really cool plot with the Cirque that we had to find one of our missing members, and we did, and the Sentinels let him go, and it was so cool. It was really awesome. I think I played Estrella very very accurately to how she was written. And that's what's tough sometimes about characters that are apathetic, have no feelings, or are sociopaths. It's actually getting that connection with other people. But I honestly enjoyed what I did, and I think I had a great time. I think Kathy and the whole crew of Peculiar Crossroads have so many cool things planned and in store for the next Armistice Arcane, and I think that this was a great first event for them. You know, I felt safe the whole time while role-playing. I felt like anything I said mattered. They had water. They had snacks. Like, it was incredible. And of course, New Orleans was really lovely too. I sadly was in and out as like a flash, so when I came home, when it was like the day to go home, we left after Armistice had ended, which was like in the early afternoon, mid-afternoon, and basically it was like 1 p.m. and we just took off for the airport because we wanted to make sure we got there because it was a football game, so we wanted to make sure we beat the traffic to the airport. So I only got to say goodbye to a few people and, you know, say my thank yous and whatnot. So if any of you are watching this and we didn't get a chance to hug and say goodbye, you know, I just want to let you know that I thought all of you were amazing and you role-played well, and I know it was a lot of first events for a lot of people. You all did phenomenal. Great job, and I hope to see you again sometime. But thank you so much for Peculiar Crossroads for, you know, asking me to join along in this event. Thank you so much for, you know, providing me with this amazing character and an amazing group of people to work with. I think you guys should definitely keep on the lookout because I'll have some more information as soon as I know about Armistice Arcane 2. But we have a ton of events coming up. I have almost too much to do in too little span of a time. So I'm going to be basically start making some vlogs for Chronicles of the Realm and my character Eloise, and telling you guys all about Eloise. I'm just finishing up my Fairweather videos and putting together a LARP up for you guys about Helena Fitzgerald. And then we have so many LARPs we're going to. I'm also happy to announce that I was able to quit my mundane job, my day job, and be able to devote more time to modeling and YouTube and LARPing as a whole, because this is such a great avenue of my life that would only be possible with you guys and the support that so many of my friends and my fans and my family have given to me. So I'm happy to say that I'm now doing this full time, and I love it. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you around.